minute he started walking that like alley, whatever, I was like,
Allie,
this
I was
looks
like, wait a
familiar.
minute. Like, wait a
Oh,
minute.
no, yeah. I mean, yeah, that goes without saying.
Wait, what y'all talking about?
We
Well,
knew it
we
was gonna
knew
be
that
Frank
Frank was
there.
showing up. We knew
Yeah.
Frank was showing up
I
because
mean, it's just he's
yeah.
in the credits, but like I was like, is it just gonna be
Honestly,
that?
yeah.
Man, bro,
Dude,
I almost teared up, bro. That
something
was
is,
Sam,
yeah, that I
Sam,
got teary.
do you want to pause it so you're able to do the
Yeah, that's what I was asking.
man.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are back for another review for Daredevil Born Again. This is the 4th episode. This is our spoiler-filled review. We're going to keep it tight, but we're going to try to go through as much as we possibly can. Got a full court press with this one. I'm going to bring everybody out. What's going on, gentlemen?
So what's up?
What up? I don't know if Jarrell's still here or not, but let's go ahead and get into it. So, Frank Castle.
We're just jumping the gun, huh?
I sure are. We sure freaking are. Because I mean, the way that the last episode ended is we saw, White Tiger get killed by somebody that literally was wearing a vest that was Punisher's vest. And so we were left to assume, worst case scenario was Frank and he just didn't get wind of it, or unfortunately what we think now, knowing that a cop or somebody set it up to get him iced. There's still some in between with that. We still have some questions about how and why that was set up. But nonetheless, we know at this point that Frank is back. And I want to ask you guys' perspective on that delivery and that conversation. What did you guys think about that? Because for me, it was one of the best interactions that I've had since the original series. And it was for so many different reasons. If you know their history, it makes sense. But if it's your first time getting their interactions, you're getting a semblance of like there's a direct contrast in the two of them, but there's a deep respect. And there's certain layers of Matt and Frank that both of them know that they were trying to pull at each other. And I think in a very positive way, but it's a very harsh way. But I wanted y'all's perspective on the conversation real quick.
Yo, I'm gonna throw it out there real quick. I have not seen the previous Daredevils, so when I saw that last episode 3 cliffhanger, I legit thought it was the Punisher. So,
which is fair.
Well, yeah. So when that whole conversation was happening in the cellar, and I was seeing like half of y'all get super excited and geeked out, and I had no idea what was happening, and I saw him there, I thought we were gonna get a fun-filled fight. I was wrong. So lesson learned. It does pay to watch the previous seasons. But it does not take away from the awesomeness that I just saw. So I will just preface it with that, but I'll let the other people talk first now.
I'll say this. No fight. That was better. That was better than a fight, in my opinion. Like that is.
Yeah.
I live for that stuff right there. Yeah, man. I mean, Fisk, if there's true intentions, he's trying his damnedest to be a mayor one out. Although, yeah, like Matt, I don't believe him. You see what White Tiger's niece, knowing that like something shitty happened, and you know how now that's falling on Matt's shoulders. The client that he took up, that perspective of like, hey man, I'm just trying to make it by. I'm not trying to do this because to get off on it. Like, no, I just need to get by. And the reality facts between this and the parallel to our universe is just eerie. Seeing Vanessa's dynamic now about like she says she feels safe, but is that something she should still continue believing or not? That was just another layer to the Fisk. And like, yeah, like we've been trying to holler out just John Bernthal as Frank Castle, calling them fanboys and his perspective, and letting him being the only one to push Matt, be like, just let something out, man. Let something out because I know it's eating you up with what happened to Foggy. And I love this dynamic. Like, what a golden ticket Marvel got when they hired Charlie Cox as Matt Murdock and John Bernthal as Frank Castle, and have them just be like, just do your thing. Just it was magic.
No, I will say that one scene with with the guy from jail talking to Matt about it, and he was so excited because he's like, "Dude, I got you 10 days." And when he was explaining all that, like that took me back because secret known fact, when I first started working, I worked at a jail, and it was heartbreaking when you would see people get out, and come December or like November timeframe when it starts getting cold, they would do stupid petty crimes just to get back in. And when you would talk to them and be like, "Dude, what's up? Like you just got out," and they would look at you and go, "I got a warm bed here, and I got 3 meals that I can eat." And you think about that, and it's like the system sometimes for some people is just it's not for them. Right. You get what I'm saying? Like it's always an uphill battle. So when that dude was talking, it's like I felt what he was saying in the sense of like, he just like when he goes, "I just wanted to taste dessert." Like that's heartbreaking when you think about it. Because he was in jail last time, he missed out on his chance of getting like the food stamps and all that stuff. So it's just like, man, like that was raw right there. So no, that was good stuff.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Bizzy, Jarrell, Mike.
Oh yeah, I mean, to back up on that, I mean, it wasn't even just food stamps. It was his SSI, which is money that he could have used for rent or for something like that. So to hear from that point of view is definitely interesting. But to jump the gun again and go back to the whole Frank and Matt stuff, I truly believe that was very important to kind of push Matt in the right direction, considering the speech he got from the White Tiger earlier on, like talking about how him and the White Tiger is in a suit, like he is the White Tiger, and to hear the way Frank was kind of talking about things, and I feel like everyone has been telling him to like grieve a certain way, and just goes like to real life. Everyone tells you how to grieve or how to cope, and Frank just told him how it is. I mean, the way he told him to handle things might have not been the best way, but it's how he, it's kind of what he needed to hear.
Yeah.
And it was just really interesting to hear the because of course when Frank's telling you how to do something, he's gonna yell it at you, So it's getting stamped into his head even more than it normally would. So it was even more meaningful considering that it was coming from someone who has kind of been in a similar situation,
Yeah.
So it's I don't know. This was a solid episode. I was happy with what we got.
Yeah, Mike or Jarrell, anything on the Frank Matt interaction?
I thought was the best scene from the season so far. It was pretty heavy, like the way that that Frank was being so like unrelenting to the point where even the devil of Hell's Kitchen breaks. Yeah, I thought it was really substantial, actually. I loved it. It was intense.
Yeah,
because I didn't even realize that was like his lair. I didn't even realize it was him until he kind of just explodes into the scene like he usually does. Bang.
Yes, sir. Mike.
Listen, it was just nice to be back, to see his interaction with these characters again, but more importantly, it reminded you the history of seeing an old friend again, but also like how some people when you like I can experience this as an adult now. I can say because when I first watched this show, Daredevil, I was in high school. I'm an adult now, married and all that stuff. And then when you like reconnect with somebody from your past, and then you realize like, hey, are you okay? And they just experienced some tragedy, whatever. I'm like, hey, when you met me, I had a tragedy. Now here we are years later, and you're in my shoes, and back then I was the crazy one. What are you? Like it's crazy. It's crazy to like how just the parallels of this. We have Matt and Wilson Fisk. Their parallels, but then like Matt and Frank. Come on, like that, and right. It is a reason why that pair is now it's become iconic now, but it makes it even more greater the fact of like certain lines calling him Red again, right? Saying that when he how Punisher, why he's so laser focused, why he's executing, because the feeling of his family passing, who passed away and everything, it's like, I'm hearing my son said, "Go ahead, Dad, shoot him, another
Right.
one." And it's like, like that. It's just like the Punisher show is amazing, is great. I encourage y'all to see, but like that line there, it's like that show how psychotic that is, but also like that, if your own child is mentally saying that to you, it's like, yeah, you're laser like focus, and now that's the point that Matt is pulled into now, where it's like, listen, this is not the last time we see a Foggy. We're gonna see Foggy again in a flashback, mental dream, or something. It's coming. But it's like, yeah, and even when Matt punched him, he was like, "Oh, I'm not mad. Something happened. Why, yeah, I know what you're feeling. Go ahead, punch me again if you need to, but just don't lie to me." That's what I love about this. It's like, it's crazy, man. But that is such beautiful writing of dialogue. This is what we love about Marvel. That even though we got returning characters who started out on the Netflix side, now it's all Disney MCU and everything. The character dynamics is the foundation of the MCU. That's that. I mean, that is it. And I'm glad that they brought this level of detail just in people's conversations. Like, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, and I wanted to kind of just fly into it because I mean, it started off with like basically Matt calling him a victim, and then Frank kind of was like, "Don't you ever call me that?
Yeah.
Never call myself that." So let's talk about you. And he started to dissect this man, and what I love about it, and yes, like you said, Mike, like when Matt hit him, he's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I apologize." He's like, "What are you apologizing for? Like, it's what are you apologizing for? Say his name." And it's so interesting because in the beginning of the conversation, he was trying to get Matt to open up in some capacity, just say his name. But by the end of it, he started talking about Foggy. So it technically worked. But this is a man that understands pain like no other human being on earth, right? And he also knows Matt really well. And so I think that what I loved about this, as much as he pushed Matt for a reason. And I think because everybody's got a testimony, right? And I think that sometimes when the testimonies kind of cross, there's an opportunity of healing. And even though, Frank doesn't have that much line of healing necessarily, I think he does have connection. And he's absolutely got a connection with Matt. And with this, by the end of the conversation, even though Matt walked out, apologized or whatever, the look on Frank's face is that he couldn't let this go because he could care less about somebody getting killed. People get killed every day. But what he does care about is who Red is to him. And he knows that if something doesn't change, it's going to go a completely different route. And so all the different dissections that we love from their interactions in the first 3 seasons is here, but it's even deeper now because these characters have evolved. They've also changed. And it was just beautiful, man. Like everything about how they dissected it, it didn't and Ronin said it didn't need to be a fight. This was better than what you could even ideally think of an actual fight. But let's get into your boy Fisk. A lot of different things going on with Fisk in this one. His protege betrayed him. His wife basically, in mid conversation in therapy was like, "Yeah, I loved his touch." I was like, "Wait, hold on. You like this way he feels like," and I think even more than that, he's realizing now, and I think it's when he was at the docks, and I think his bodyguard was like, "Yo, if something don't change out here, or half these people get killed, you're not gonna be able to get what you want." And it's leading him down back the same exact road that we were talking about since episode 1. Like, it's going to hit a boiling point. And him and Matt are literally at that precipice right now. It's back right down the addiction trail. But what did you guys think about Wilson Fisk in this episode?
Man, oh man. Just, again, we were laughing because we couldn't hold it, but like him sitting down watching kids sing a choir in front of him, people singing to welcome it, just like, him just like it's not his scene. He's very, very much split down the middle, where like he likes in the shadows, making the moves and whatnot. Um, yeah, it's fascinating seeing. I liken it that Matt and Wilson are two rubber bands, and in each time we're spending time with them, we're just seeing that boom, 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 and it's just gonna snatch any moment.
Yeah.
Seeing how much I think the Gandolfini's son Donald Blake, I think his name is, seeing how much he was loyal to Wilson and like really looks up to him. I think that grew on the side of Wilson, the way that I forget his original right hand man, but from season one, how he knew he was very loyal to him, but also saying like, "Oh, I'm not gonna fire you, dude, but like I know you're loyal, but
I mean,
if you do that again out in public, you're going 6 feet in the ground
On
just letting
site.
you know." And I don't even think the kid fully realizes that now because his head is so far up his. But it's a fascinating dynamic to see him now in power and seeing everybody. I think it was his the lady who's running his stuff on now, who's like, with all due respect to her, this is the job.
Mhm.
This is the job now. So be careful what you wish for, Wilson.
No, for sure. Anybody else thoughts on Fisk?
Listen. I kept saying this is that it's like I'm talking about recovering addicts when they're going through withdrawals. He's doing this even, and he keep getting pushed the needle. He just get it. It's like things are not going his way in terms of like in therapy. He just getting tried, and people are playing me. I'm just trying to be mayor and do this thing, but y'all need. I feel like you guys pushed me to a point where I got to remind you guys who I am, right? You know, and maybe I got to remind myself who I am, right? Like that's that's the thing. It's like it's crazy. Like him just like, yeah, come on, man. Listen, for Netflix veterans, I'll say this. Sorry, Jorge. But like that picture in the background, that detail means so much. The fact that they put that in there. But anyway, yeah, I just felt that was just a really powerful scene. Just like you're seeing him, he's getting agitated. Though the lady in his administration is like still questioning him, doing her job, yes, but it's like no, I said this and I want this, but like you keep pushing, like I just told you I want it this way, and then you keep pushing me over and over again, right? And then you have now there's still something about the Sopranos kid that I'm like, there's something deeper with him, and I feel like Wilson sees himself in him, you know,
Yes.
some form of fashion. But also, I don't know how like deep this show's gonna go in terms of the longevity of this character. Cause I hope it's not a Penguin situation, like with Victor, R.I.P. But like I hope this is some type of protege type stuff. Because like, but just think about this. I understand he's young, but it like, hey, if 10, 20 years or so goes around, like, hey, I could have if I could see him be a Wilson Fisk type character, you know, or something. You know, it's almost looking like it. I keep saying he looks like just his son, but I don't know. And then even in therapy, the lady's like, "Did you have infidelity?" Like, no, I didn't. Are you sure about that?
Yeah, he was real quick about
yes,
like,
right, exactly
that down very quickly, and
yes.
It's kind of like I'm not to say that it's hard to believe that Wilson wouldn't have had somebody before Vanessa, but I don't know. He just shot it down so quick, and he didn't even think about it. Like he just shot it down really quickly.
Yeah, I don't think it was out of like guilt or anything. I think he's just loyal to the bone. I mean, the dude's a weirdo. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't think he would have. Yeah, no, I'm not.
Wait, hold on. Let's call that back. You think this crazy mass murdering sociopath
Yes.
has his own true because it's different than loyalty
somebody
for a
the whole
sociopath.
point we've had in many seasons where someone has said something disrespectful to him, he doesn't care. But as soon as you even look at her funny, like the dude has like some morals to the point where he will never hurt her, but he would destroy the world for her. I do not think that he had any moment like that within their relationship. 100%.
No, you said it right there. No one else can hurt her. No one else can say her name.
Yep.
When you have to assess that within yourself, that means you, the person that's sociopathic, have to look outside like empathy to recognize, oh, maybe I might hurt this person. If he doesn't have that capacity, how would he know the difference? Anybody else on the outside, yeah, I'm with you, but I can't assess that. But again, I also don't know who he may have been with before Vanessa either. So we'll see. I just
Listen,
you have somebody
he's-
that psychopathic.
Bro,
I
I'm just saying.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, he's not a good man, so
What
I
moral,
mean, it's
moral
not.
standing he's standing on, you know?
He's on a
Well, I
pretty
mean-
complicated moral ground.
I don't know. I kind of, if you're looking at this from like just a blanket point of view, there's not much difference between him and Daredevil.
No.
They're both taking care of business. It just
Michael, how are you gonna say no then say he has no moral standing ground?
their
He's the
own
same as
way.
Daredevil.
Yeah,
No,
like
I
when you-
was agreeing. I'm agreeing that they're it's similar. Go
I
on,
know, but
Jorge.
that makes
like
Okay.
I think when you look at it, it's from looking at it, the Kingpin will basically go to any degree to make sure that like his wife is like secured and no one will hurt her and all that stuff and like what you said, like he'll kill the world over her. And I think that's the difference between him and Daredevil, because Daredevil will sacrifice people to save the world. And I think that's where the trip is on all this. Like neither one of them have a super huge moral compass. Like at the end of the day, they're all killers. Like and they're just justifying it to themselves. Like at the end of the day. But no,
this is so interesting. I love.
No, I mean, listen, the road to evil is usually pretty nearby.
yeah. And I will say, I do like. So, is his hand twitch? Is that something from previous things?
Oh,
yeah.
First shot, if I'm not
Oh,
mistaken, right?
buddy.
When we introduced him, he's just
first
like,
time we saw
Oh,
some.
buddy.
First time we saw him kill somebody, we noticed it.
Okay,
And
yeah.
I mean,
Because
this is very
the more he gets
terrible.
agitated, I noticed that I think it's like his right hand keeps getting like all jacked up and stuff. So I'm just like, ooh, I can wait till he like flips out and utilizes it.
Is that the hand he used to kill his father? Can't remember. No, I'm pretty sure there's some significance behind it. Sam, you're doing that, but he had that's.
No, I mean, it's
held the hammer.
definitely a tick that he's probably had. Like,
Because that's
I'm
the hand
sorry,
that he held
Jorge.
the hammer with.
I'm so sorry.
Wait, he killed his father?
Oh,
Thanks,
shit.
Bizzy.
We're only watching season 4. My apologies.
right, I was just gonna say he's watching season 4, so that's
It is
already like.
season 1. It is called Born Again, guys.
I
Season
mean,
1.
I'm just happy that Jarrell called it season 4. That's a big hurdle. The fact that Jarrell called it
Yeah,
season
that
4
is.
it came out of your mouth, bro. I'm sorry.
It
But
technically is.
Anyway,
But whether
also Vanessa and Wilson brought up their families. Like that
was interesting because
huge.
he said that he had never heard that from her. And,
Yeah.
I mean, we never really knew much about her. Like, she's morally gray. You know, she's accepting of him in so many different regards. But I was kind of like, she had been something coming from something crazy. But it's just interesting that we really get that on a surface level from her. I wanted to ask y'all a really quick side question. What do you guys think about the psychiatrist, Matt's girlfriend?
you think she's what the feds? Is that
No. I'm asking, what do you think about her? Because
There's something off, but I can't figure out what's off about her.
I love her
Right.
dynamic with Matt, but this episode it made me worry. I'm like, did Fisk pay her? Like, is she specifically planted in Murdock's life? Like that would be the ultimate like cultist thing of like, I don't know. Does she know he is Daredevil?
I don't know. It was something when they had the conversation when he went home.
Yeah.
It made me kind of feel like
that was weird.
she had something else going on, and
She might be undercover.
I don't know. And I'm not saying she's a killer. I'm not saying she's a narc. I read people and like they really focused and honed in on her demeanor here. and what she does. And I was like, I don't know, something's a little off about
She
it.
hasn't even told them that she's her clients or her patients are the Fisk. So
Well,
it's like
she's
how
not
They
supposed
can't.
to.
They
do
signed
that.
an
Client
NDA.
privilege, she probably
You can't do
Yeah,
that.
she signed- yeah.
Come on now.
but
Yeah,
again,
no,
but she
no.
knows a little bit of what he feels towards him. So like imagine when that's revealed, it's like, oh.
I mean,
Well,
if
I don't
that-
think I can't imagine she's working undercover because I mean, again, she does have a close friend that is involved with which is a McDuffie, which is her good friend.
Oh,
yeah,
his
the-
his
And
partner
so like
at the
she
firm.
yeah, so she
Partner.
is personal with some of these people, and I can't imagine she would try to gain like some type of relationship with someone while she's on the job, if you will, technically.
but at the same time, she didn't have to take the client though. She took the client after knowing exactly how Matt felt about him.
Wait, question. Did she have a choice?
Yeah, she don't have to take the client.
But are you gonna say no to the kingpin? Because you have to know his associates and all that, I would think. So when someone like that comes into your house, or they're like into your bodega and they're like, hey, you gotta pay rent, you're not gonna be like, no, I'm not paying rent to you. You're gonna be like, yeah, sure, how much is it?
I mean,
It's gonna happen one way or the other. If you say no, they're just gonna kill her.
Eh,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I feel like she had a way that she could have said like, I don't really feel comfortable with this because,
well,
my relationship. Like she could have said whatever, but I don't know. I'm gonna leave it alone for now.
I'll say this.
I will say that wasn't my first read of it, but I mean, I will admit there's definitely a possibility that like there's something like off about her, whether it's Fisk is found some situation for her to behave that way, or she's undercover, or whatever. But it wasn't my first read, so I guess we'll see. I don't know.
I hope
It's
she doesn't
possible.
break Matt's heart. That'll really bum me out. And my final thoughts is that the quality of the show hasn't dropped thus far, and
Only getting better.
the Newton Brothers music, the Newton Brothers, man, I can't wait. I want to watch the next episode as soon as possible.
I feel like this episode was like almost objectively great. At least if you enjoyed.
It got
prior
you.
seasons.
I have a feeling it got you more this
For
one.
sure. And I felt like this wiped out the other prior episodes so far this season by a lot. I'm like, God, what?
Yeah, even like having Matt like track down and hunt down like the culprit. It was
City.
it was really good.
It was a strong episode.
So all right, quick ratings across the board. A to F. What are we rating this episode?
Hey.
I am going to go with a really, really high. I'm between an A and like a super high B plus, because I can only think it's going to get better.
So you're A minus then?
Okay.
A minus where I'm
I
at.
don't want to just throw
A
out.
minus.
I don't want
Okay.
to throw out an A because I think it's it's climaxing right now, and I just hope that this ends up going where in my mind I want it to go, where both of these guys snap and then you get like this really cool fight at the end type of stuff. But it's like right now
he's ready for somebody to get their brains bashed in.
Yeah.
I think they get back to the first season
Well,
immediately.
it's interesting because you're seeing both these characters like on the brink of like exploding into back to their natural state. It's almost like they're in this abnormal state, and it's like they're going against the water, and they're just finally going to just give up and just go with the water. And it's going to be interesting when they both snap, if it's going to happen at the same exact time or what's going to lead to that.
Yeah.
And everyone's smiling, so I know something's about to happen. So cool.
Mike. Sherelle, what's your...
Yeah, I mean, listen, I thought the first 3 episodes, I thought they were like just okay. I don't really know what they've been talking about for real. But this episode was fantastic. Okay, this is the most amount of notes that I've taken for an episode so far, and they were all mostly positive. It's probably about a 9 out of 10 for me, which would probably be, I don't really do letter grades, but probably like a
I mean, 9 and 10 is
God,
okay.
where would that be? Probably like a B plus
B plus.
on the letter grade. Probably that feels right. Yeah, like a B plus.
As I live
Feels
and breathe.
strong. I can't just like cash out, but my God, there were multiple points where I almost was just like, my God, it's happening. But really strong episode.
Yeah.
I'm curious if they can keep it up.
Yeah, this man Jarrell called it season 4. That was a deal breaker right there. But
it is
for me,
technically.
But the fact that you acknowledging it that is a really big deal.
It's a
Anyway,
huge step.
for
Listen,
me,
I'll be saying season 4 if it ends up bad as well.
for me, this is a really strong episode. The fact that Fisk was talked down by this kid from blowing his lid, the end shot of what we found out who Adam is, where he's at, and like Fisk is just like got him locked down. Probably been beating on this man for God knows how long. But Matt going and you seeing all the Daredevil like cows and him picking up the staff and going back into training after Frank breaking him open, so to speak, in a positive way. I don't think it was a negative way. I think it was what was needed in their kind of line of work. But this is a powerful episode. This is an A. This is almost an A plus for me. But I'm keeping that a strong A. But yeah, you guys, we're gonna go. Till next time. Peace, people.
Peace.
Hello, everyone. We are back. Episode 5. Daredevil Born Again. Daredevil season 4.
Or 1.
The quality has not been dropping, in my opinion, with the show. Character stuff is going full throttle, and I can't wait to press play. Any opening thoughts?
I want to say something, but I can't. I don't want to get demonetized, but I'm ready.
Listen, they better maintain whatever. It's like they just woke up behind the wheel in episode 4, so they better keep that energy. Okay.
No, this is